Hello everyone, long time no see, I hope you are doing well. Welcome to this video, I am Ming. Today, I will explain a highly acclaimed work for you. It has a very good reputation in China and is a treasure of Chinese animation with a high rating of 9 points. If you watch it and don't like it, you can come and beat me up. Even Jesus can't stop me, I guarantee you. Without further ado, let's dive into the comic world. In the Eastern world, the confrontation between human seekers and undead creatures has never stopped since ancient times. It seems endless and has no end. Until the appearance of the three true sects, three disciples from different timelines, guided by the treasure of the three true sects, the three true same moon order, simultaneously eliminated the source of these undead creatures, a monster that transcends time and space, the Infinity Corpse Immortal. However, the three true sects were almost destroyed in history. One day in 1854 AD, the contemporary leader of the three true sects was telling his disciples about the past glory of the sect while taking out an ancient turtle shell with the emblem of the three true sects engraved on it. This is the treasure of the three true sects that suppresses the sect. The disciples were instantly attracted by this thing, but in the next second, the leader's head was suddenly beheaded. Ing felt that the leader's departure was indeed a bit sudden. Everyone looked at the killer in horror. It was a Nirvana zombie wearing armor. At this moment, he was holding the leader's head and drinking the blood. There is an old saying in China, a forcibly twisted melon is not sweet. However, it now seems at least refreshing. The leader was killed instantly, and the fate of the remaining disciples can be imagined. Only the youngest disciple of the sect, Ma Chao, escaped with the three true same moon order under the protection of his senior brothers and sisters. Time flies, and in 1906 AD, the little disciple who escaped back then, Ma Chao, has now become the 217th generation leader of the three true sects. At this moment, he is taking his third disciple, Gahaguang, out for experience. While speaking, a withered ghost hand emerged from the cemetery. This was a hideous zombie that hid here during the day and crawled out from the ground at night to steal living people from nearby villages. Traditional Chinese zombies have a setting that they cannot move in sunlight, similar to Western vampires, and need to hop to move. Looking at the zombie moving quickly by hopping, Gahaguang took out a talisman. His eyes narrowed, and the talisman in his hand began to burn, turning into a golden sword and piercing the zombie. But the golden sword dissipated in the air before touching the zombie. Upon seeing this, Gahaguang grumbled inwardly, "The things this old man teaches are really unreliable." Ma Chao, upon seeing this scene, lifted his leg and stomped on the zombie's face, then took out a talisman from his sleeve and flung it out casually. The talisman burned fiercely in the air, and the next second, a large ingot of gold appeared above the zombie's head. With a clanging sound, the ingot fell and a burst of golden light radiated out. By the time the golden light dissipated, the zombie that was hit by the ingot had already turned into powder like flour. After completing all of this, the old man stood with his hands behind his back, adopting the posture of a skilled expert. Gahaguang was already accustomed to this. Although his master was usually unrefined, he was quite strong once he got serious. The power of the talisman he had refined was unexpectedly terrifying. What kind of monster was it that caused the destruction of the Sanjin sect back then? On the way back, Gahaguang expressed his doubts. His master's master should have been even stronger. How could they have been wiped out by such a thing? But as soon as this matter was mentioned, Ma Chao sighed inwardly, his expression showing sadness. He explained that there are many types of Nirvana corpses. The one they encountered just now was just an ordinary corpse that had turned into a common corpse after death for some reason. Besides being strong and fast, it didn't have much intelligence and was easy to deal with. However, the one they encountered back then was an undead created from the corpse of someone who had magical powers when they were alive. It not only had intelligence that was not inferior to humans and a body as strong as steel, but it also had elusive supernatural powers and spells that even the ability of Ma Chao and his fellow apprentices at that time could not deal with. After escaping, Ma Chao continued to practice in the secret third palace of the Sanjin sect and even took on 3 apprentices. Among them, Gahaguang was the most special because he was chosen by the same month order of the Sanjin sect as Ma Chao looked at the teenager who was meditating with his eyes closed in front of him and picked up a talisman. He then chanted a spell with both hands, and the next moment, the talisman turned into a flame in his hands. However, it lasted only for a moment before the flame dissipated, and the talisman in his hand turned into dust. Ma Chao said helplessly, "You foolish boy, I've already told you that only the talismans you make yourself can unleash their full power. You have no chance with the ones I've made. Young man, you still need to practice." Gahagua looked angry. Since he was 8 years old, he had been tricked into the Sanjin sect by this unreliable old man. Not only had he not learned any skills that could help him make a living, but he had also learned a lot of strange things that were of no use. As they spoke, the two returned to the Sanjin sect's third palace, but the entire palace was strangely quiet. The master and disciple realized that something was wrong and hurriedly searched for their fellow apprentices' figures in the palace. But they saw a desperate scene in the hall. Their fellow apprentices had been grabbed by a Nirvana corpse wearing armor, the same undead that almost wiped out the Sanjin sect years ago. Alright friends, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, just wait for the next one. Remember to eat well and drink plenty of hot water. See you next time.